Alright, Sistas fans. Now this video is pretty... It's hard for me to describe how to describe the video. Now this is not me bashing the show. That's not it at all. I learned from the pains. If there's a show I don't like watching, I will just not watch it. I will not review it. Sistas is new, so it's one of those situations where I'm going to give it a chance and see how the first season plays out. If memory serves, I believe that The Oval and Sistas are both 25 episodes for their first seasons on BET. Now, I've been asked, Jeremy, what do you think of the show? Honestly, I don't really like it, or I think it's okay, or, you know what? I've seen better, not to mention I'm not staying up till 10 o'clock to watch it. All valuable opinions. But for me, let me just put it this way. You all know that before the show even aired, I was very nervous. I think I was more nervous about watching and reviewing Sistas than I was with reviewing Greenleaf for the first time this year. But Greenleaf turned out to be a good move. Sistas, at first, I thought it was good because I actually had a lot to say due to the fact that I didn't know as a man what I could actually say, what I could actually get out of the show, being the opposite gender that the show seemed to be aimed towards. However, there were we're only 6 episodes in and we're getting some very thought-provoking questions about, well, relationships in general. And I think one of the most interesting ones so far was in the last episode. Well, not just the last episode, but a couple episodes prior, where Aaron brought up the fact that, cheating is the biggest thing for him that he can't stand in a relationship. But then also the duality of whether or not Andy is a good person because, she's messing around with a married man. And actually, on the split screen here, I have, one side Audacity when I'm recording the audio, and then another one where I have audience reviews of the shows. And this is from Google. So basically, I know there are probably bigger, I guess you could say, platforms with audience reviews, but I see about 44 people that commented, so I think this is a pretty good estimation. According to IMDb, currently, the show is ranked 4.8 out of 10. In terms of Google users, about 93% like the TV show. And I'm going to pull up some of the comments as I'm actually doing the video, kind of reading through it. For the most part, I'm seeing, well, and again, some of these comments are from a couple weeks ago. So thankfully, these comments aren't just from the first episode. I'm glad to see some of these comments came in over, the course of the show's run. Not too many people are saying anything positive, oh, it's a poor man's girlfriends. Ooh, this is as bad as For Better or Worse. I think the show's writing drags. Ooh, I think the acting could be better. I see some positive ones. Watched the show last night for the first time because I couldn't sleep, but I can honestly say I can't wait for the next episode. Definitely got my attention. Totally speaking, from my experience, I'm really in love with the show. I love everything about it. It's very funny. Tyler Perry is the king. I love him dearly. I really like the show. I love the characters. I love the acting. It's very entertaining. I hope it stays on for many years. Good job, Tyler Perry and the actors. Okay, here's a very good comment. This show makes me thankful that I don't have friends like the ones portrayed in the series. My friends would check me if I was sleeping with a married man. I can't relate to any of these characters, and I hate that this is how Perry decided to portray black female friendship group. Okay, I understand the first part because I like the fact that this commenter actually related the show to her real life. So that was pretty interesting. As I'm scrolling through the comments, one of the more consistent negative comments is either the acting or the way Tyler Perry's portrayed women. Here's another one. Very disappointing. It is a very negative portrayal of black women and women in general. Our lives are about much more than sleeping around in unhealthy relationships. I expected a quality show, something uplifting. I would not want any of these characters to be a role model for any young lady. Holy crap, this is a long one. This is your stereotypical black show that stereotypes black women. They got to have the loud one with... Okay. They've got to have the loud one with no money. The one that's going to sleep with somebody's husband and the other one that doesn't have a man. I mean, this is so stereotypical, it's getting boring and old. Writers need to find a new narrative that not only represent the educated women, but the educated woman with a family who isn't seen having an attitude, but is assertive in her life and with others. Producers and TV show writers need to burst that bubble that their thought process lives in and put some real characters of black women on the screen, because not every black woman fits the stereotype with their friends. This show is decent popcorn entertainment, but the writing drags, and this person has a lot of A's and drags. There are a lot of unnecessary lines of dialogue and filler words. It's as if Tyler Perry knew he had to fill up a certain number of pages without the plot moving along. So we end up with a lot of, I like shopping. Girl, I know you do. Yes, indeed. Yes. Love me some shopping. You really do. And so on and so forth. That one actually made me chuckle, because I remember watching episodes 3 and 4 thinking, these episodes are very fillerish and they don't really serve the 42-minute time slot well. So I don't need to read more of these comments. Like I said, if you just type in Sistas, BET, and then you look at the right side of the screen, they have the entire list of comments here from Google audience reviewers. But I have to say, from my experience, 6 episodes in, I think this show probably would have done better on the OWN network. I think the show definitely feels like an OWN show rather than a BET show. I feel like the Tyler Perry audience that has been expanded thanks to the opening of the gala, the gala for the new Tyler Perry Studios, the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the notoriety that went along with that. So Sistas in the Oval got a huge public relations / advertising push from being in the limelight during those key moments of Tyler Perry's, career. He had just turned 50, gotten the star. The gala was like a who's who of, black entertainment. But I just think that, and I'm not trying to sound biased here. I know a lot of people are like, dude, your channel is named the Haves and the Have-Nots Review. Of course you're going to highlight it. But I think shows like the Haves and the Have-Nots, House of Pain, those shows definitely would do well on BET. And I'm not just talking about reruns of House of Pain. I mean, in general, like, I think the Haves and the Have-Nots, I'm willing to bet if Tyler Perry put season 1 on BET, the ratings for that would be better than the Oval and Sisters. I think that even without the huge, push of a watch party, or the huge push of all the cast being at the gala or the star, I think those shows do well because it had a good balance of characters. Those episodes, at least the early seasons, didn't feel like they were dragging. Like, every character served a purpose, every scene was great. And what show did I praise or Ambition? Yeah, I think it was Ambitions that I said that. I know a lot of people aren't really giving the show the love it deserves, because Ambitions is a very good show, but Ambitions is an example of a show that sometimes it throws a little too much at you, but at the same, I feel like Ambitions is a show that sometimes, not all the time, sometimes suffers from only being 42 minutes long, but at the same time, every scene and every character serves a purpose. But then there are other shows where it's like, dang, we still got 20 minutes left, and it just feels like it's dragging on. So I feel like Sistas could definitely serve better as a 30-minute show, or even as like a Dear White People kind of format where each episode focuses on a different character. That's just my opinion on it. Because like I said before, 2020 is going to be kind of a revamp for me. I'm really going to think more about what to do with the channel. And, knocking on the door of 100,000 subscribers will hopefully lead to more opportunities as well. So I'm really thinking about what to do in regards of what shows to add to my review roster, because looking back, this time last year, I was only doing the Haves and the Have-Nots, but here we are a year later, I'm doing at least like half a dozen shows. But I got to look at what videos are bringing in numbers and what videos aren't really, hey, remember, I watch these shows like everyone else. I watch it, I tweet, I got to take notes, I got to edit videos. So is this show bringing in the numbers that make it worth reviewing in the future? I don't know yet. But ratings wise, Sistas is holding steady. I think episode 3 was the lowest one so far for 0.7 Yeah, because I think, yeah, episode 1 got 0.89, and this is measured in millions. So didn't even hit a million, but it did get 0.89. Episode 2 got 0.82. Episode 3, 0.70. Then we got 0.85 for episode 4. Episode 5 was 0.81. And those two episodes, 4 and 5, were the ones probably my least favorite of the season so far. I gave episode 6 a 7.5 out of 10. But yeah, the Oval has definitely been more consistent. The first episode over a million. Episode 2, 0.94, 0.84, 0.96, 0.88. So it's bouncing around, the 8 and 9 bit with mark, with only the first episode getting over a million views. But at the same time, I really don't know the BET format when compared to OWN when it comes to ratings. So only time will tell if these shows will be renewed. We do know that the full seasons have been filmed, 25 episodes a pop, but which show or will both of them actually make it to the season 2? I'm very curious, because I do think that when it comes down to it, the acting thing, to be honest, if you ask me my personal opinion, judging by the first 3 episodes alone, well, I would say Sistas overall has had the better acting, while the Oval has the better story. But if we're looking at both shows so far with 6 episodes each, the Oval has gotten better as the show has gone on. Sistas, I feel like Sistas, in my opinion, has almost like an identity crisis, because I remember when the news first came out about the whole Viacom deal. Oh, Tyler Perry has 2 dramas and 2 comedies. So, okay, when Sistas was announced, I figured, okay, the Oval is going to be the drama. It's going to be like the 1 hour have and have nots, if loving you is wrong, S links, it's going to be an hour. Like the Too Close to Home. It's going to be 42 minutes long. It's going to be the drama, because Tyler Perry has a knack where he drops a new show, but then also a comedy. He's like, he has 1 hour long story driven drama, but then like a 22-minute comedy to balance it out. So when Sistas was first announced, I'm like, okay, this is going to be like the short show, and it's going to be more comedic, but it's going to follow the lives of, these 4 women from different paths of life. But then as time went on, I heard it was going to be like a dramedy. Okay, so it's going to have drama with a bit of comedy. Okay, I could dig that. But then when you actually watch the show, it's kind of hard to tell. I think and I said this before, Danny is like the Tyler Perry play character who I could definitely see in a Tyler Perry play, but she's been put into this show. And I feel like Maurice is also the comic relief as well. And also, a side note, my mom watched Sistas for the first time during her days off for Thanksgiving. Danny is her favorite character. But I feel like Sistas is kind of, when I looked at those comments talking about the lack of chemistry between the cast, I don't think there's a lack of chemistry between the cast per se. I feel like there's a disconnect in between the characters, not the cast, but the characters. For example, Andy and Karen seem to be better friends than they are with any other women in the group, kind of like Sabrina and Danny, because Sabrina and Danny will talk to each other before they talk to Karen or Andy, and vice versa. Karen and Andy will talk to each other before they talk with Danny or Sabrina. Kind of like the whole situation where they had that girls' night confronting Andy about messing around with a married man, only because Karen knew, but no one else. But then you also learned that Danny also messed around with somebody married, but only Sabrina knew. So it's just one of those situations where it's almost like we're following 2 different sets of women. And then every now and again, they'll meet up for a girls' night to kind of go over everything together, as opposed to over the phone or a group chat. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like Sistas is thought-provoking. I have been thinking, even as a man, I'm thinking like, oh wow, there's some very interesting relationship aspect to consider. But I don't know how well the show is going to do by the end of season 1. I mean, hopefully the ratings go up. I hope to see like a 0.9 or maybe an episode cross 1 million live views, during a given week. But we'll just have to wait and see. So with that being said, what do I think of Sistas? It's pretty good. Not really sure about I can see why people don't watch it live, even though I know it's important, because like I'm about to yawn again. Sorry. It's just one of those shows where I I don't see myself staying up every Wednesday night to watch it at 10 o'clock, no less. But I think that the show, when it first came on, it definitely had a push. You know, it had the backing of the Tyler Perry events that were going on. Then you had the watch parties and whatnot. But after that, okay, what next? Can the show fly on its own? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So, with that being said, if you watch Sisters, or if you attempted to watch the show, let me know in the comment section what you think of it. How do you think it could be better? Do you like it the way it is? And I'm not one to just say, oh, it's a girlfriend's knockoff. I think Sisters is a show that has its own merit. Like, I like the scenery. I like the camera work. I like the feel of it. It's just that some episodes are better than others. And my gosh, look, I got plenty of sleep. I don't know why I'm yawning. So don't think that me yawning in this video is a reflection of, oh, wow, he's yawning. Dude, he's yawning just talking about Sisters. Why would I watch it? No. Don't get that idea. But all I'm saying is, I think that this show is having a bit of an identity crisis where there are moments where it's supposed to be serious, but then we flip to a comedic scene. It's like, oh no, we have the drama of Andy messing around with a married man, and does his wife know about it? But then we flip over to Calvin wearing lingerie, and it's like, wait, what? So I think that this show should probably figure out what kind of genre it wants to be. You know, I think that's probably one of the biggest things holding it back. Now, in regards to the acting thing, and I see this a lot. I see this more with Oval than Sisters, because to be honest, before I read those comments from Google reviewers, I don't think I heard too many people talking about the acting in Sisters being bad. I think it's pretty good, to be honest. And overall, I think it's more consistent than the Oval. I think that the show dragging is probably the most damning thing. The show dragging sometimes, and then finding what genre wants to be. Other than that, I think it's pretty good. So, I'm mad at myself because I was looking at my notes and I feel like I forgot to jot something down that I really wanted to talk about as this video comes to a close. But I'm going to be mad as soon as I, get ready to edit and then I remember what it was. So let me just take a moment to think. And as I'm thinking, just my quick disclaimer, please subscribe to the channel because we're close to 100,000, less than 1,600 subscribers to go. And also check out links to my social media. They're in the description, Facebook groups, Facebook pages, eBay, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. What did I want to say? I'm so mad because I know I should. Okay. So I talked about the acting, I talked about the genre, the fact that the show probably would do better as a 22-minute instead of a 40-minute or 42-minute show. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know your thoughts, really. What do you think of the show? And look, it's easy to say, oh, I hate it, but elaborate. What don't you like about it? What do you like about it? And with that being said, let me know, should I do a video similar to this one, but talking about the Oval instead? Do you want me to do a deconstruction of the Oval? Like, what do I think of the show so far? Is the acting good? What about the story? Is it worth watching every week? Who knows? You care about my opinion, obviously, because a lot of you wanted this video. So I'll catch you all next time, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up.